Hi and welcome back to another live stream. And today, instead of talking about the gear and the hardware that I got here in my studio, certainly not the synthesizers, of course, I want to talk about another important thing that you have to have that also in your studio when you want to have some quality sound, and when you're recording or streaming, you have and you need to have that also. So I want to talk about the plugins that I am using here for mixing, for not only for mixing, but also for effects, and also for sound, like which plugin that I use for drums sometimes, or also onboard synthesizers that I use, VST's plugins. Also, that it's sometimes important that I have that also in my studio. So to start with, I'm using three platforms. The first one is our two DAWs. The Cubase, this case, you see, this one is Element 7. It's an older one, but it works perfectly without any hesitating. It's a very stable software. The only thing, there is no updates anymore for this version. I bought it, I think, 10 years ago. It was not so expensive, this one, but it did what it must do. It stays do that also now. So it's a very interesting DAW. Why I use this one is I'm using it for normally for for mastering. For mastering my mixtape. So this one I'm using for mastering. Before I used it also for music producing, but now I'm using it certainly for mastering, and sometimes also for using VST synths, so plugin synths. Also, because I cannot do that with my other one, and the other DAW is this Presonus, or Studio Pro from Fender, but before it was Presonus. Also very interesting DAW. It has lots of features that's also very great, and lots of nice effects on it also. Only minus point is that I cannot use free plugins from from a third on this platform. There are ways, I know, but I didn't find out, or must buy some software for that. But you cannot just setting plugin like a synth or something like that. It's not so easy as Cubase. Cubase is much easier. But because I have also the Studio Live SA16 mixing table, that means that I can control this DAW with my mixing table without any flaws, and it works perfectly. So no hesitating or nothing. And the third one is also for my mixing table, for my mix table, is this one is your remote control. And in this case, the same effects that you have here, they are also in the mixing table. You can find them there, and they are very, very good. So the effects, they are very interesting and also very good. So all the plugins that I have here that I'm using are plugins. They were free. You can buy them, but when I download them, they were free. So there was sometimes a period there it's a free plugin. So I download that, or they came with the software, like with the mixing table, or with Cubase itself, or with the Studio Pro, like the Fender plugins that I have on Studio Pro now. Or they are just downloaded for free, like the other plugins that you can find for free. So those also the plugins that I'm using. We are going to start with Cubase, and we're going to show you which plugin that I'm using, why I use those, and maybe if you have some opinion about that, or you can you have also an interesting plugin that it can be useful. Just leave it in a comment in the chat, or feel free to leave your comment in the chat so you can ask me, and we're gonna find out together that. For those who just came in, welcome to the live stream, and feel free to like and subscribe, of course, to my channel, and don't hesitate to leave your comment in the chat. If you have a question, just ask. I will answer. If you have also an idea or a request, just leave it in a comment in the chat, and we will talk about that, of course. So let's get started with the Cubase plugins that I'm using. First of all, because I'm using it always for mastering, most of all, I have there were lots of plugins that are in Cubase. You can find them here with your inserts. So when you go, I'm gonna turn that off, so no effect like that. So you get lots of plugins that you found here. What I didn't have here were a nice compressor. Before I had also a very great Pultec equalizer, but because my laptop was crashed one time, I must download everything, and that free plugin I couldn't find them again free. So if I want to have that, I must buy it. So, but there are lots of plugins. In this case, they are free from Cubase itself, like this one. Those are the standard plugins that you can find on Cubase. This ping pong delay is a nice one. It's a very easy to use. I love to use ping pong delays. That gives the sound a little bit more room in the. It gives also space for other sounds when you want to have a sound that cuts to the middle, and you don't want to have the other sounds getting in that frequency. You use a plugin, the ping pong plugin. It makes also the sound a little bit larger than it seems. There are lots of other ping pong delays that I'm using, but this one is a nice one. I know because I've been using it before. But there are also distortions also but this one I don't use much because I have also effect pedals here. But in this case, from this one, I don't use any of these plugins. Only this one. Yes, from Universal Audio. This one I downloaded. It is for free. A very interesting, nice analog reverb. So I can insert a sound so you can hear what it does. Gonna search for a sound that I have here. I have lots of music. There's something. Okay. Gonna use this one. Enter it here. So just a sample to hear what it can do. So this plugin is from Universal Audio, and it has nice effects also. It has some so you see, there are lots of other options, more in the bass. Vintage. lots of more. So this plugin was available for a few weeks for free from Universal Audio, and I'm quite a fan of fan of these plugins of Universal Audio. They have some very interesting and nice, and for the only plugin that I want to pay for is for a plugin from Universal Audio, because they are so good and also interesting for mixing and sounds effects. As you hear, it's a full distortion, IPDI, that's default. This one is very good. It calls the drum bass master tape. That's a very interesting, gives some more depth in the sound. So that's a very useful plugin. If you can buy it, I hope you will. They will also one day give it for free again, like this one that I found for free from Universal Audio, and it's a very interesting plugin to add some texture on your sound, like that. This one I use sometimes. It's a very useful and very helpful plugin. From the distortion, there are no other than this one that I'm using. This I don't use. This is also a sort of amp rack for guitar that is original from Cubase, and but I never use that because I have other plugins that are better than this one. For the other plugins now, if we are going to the dynamics, and in this case I have two plugins from Universal Audio. I didn't buy it, they were for free, so I also download them. The 1176 FET compressor, a very known compressor, and the LA2A, one of my favorites. Oh, both are my favorites. The 1176 is the compressor that I'm using for some like drums, very percussive sounds, and the LA2A, you can use it for your end mix, you can use it for vocal. A very interesting plugins. I'm gonna open this one so you can. That's a fat press. That's a fat one from Universal Audio. Also, I didn't pay any dime for it. It was for free, so a free plugin. Hopefully they do that action also again. There are now 3 plugins from Universal Audio that I'm using without any pay. For those who are familiar with this plugin, you know it has a fast attack and a fast release. That's also so interesting for the plugin, like drums, and also for this sound. To one now. So that's 4 to 1, but you can also do 12. That's too much. The release time also Now you see it, it's very fast. Very interesting plugin for percussive sounds. You can also use it as an end compressor for your end mix, but I'm using it more for drums instead of for pianos also, but more for drums, and it's a very useful plugin. Then we have also the other one, the LA2A, also very classic one, and this one is super nice sounding compressor I found. So let's try this one also so you can hear what the difference is. Next compressor. Going back to Cubase. And that was the trick here is when you're compressing, you must, in my opinion, you must compress just when the needle goes a little bit off for vocal, and you can exaggerate a little bit more than that. Or for, if you are mixing end mix from your master mix, then you must doesn't exaggerate with this one, with your peak reduction. That's too much. So gain, and then go back. If it stays between 0 and -1, then you have a nice compressing. Without, with. That's without, with. Without. Of course it's louder, but I'm gonna set the volume at the same. I'm gonna turn it on. Without. It gives the sound more character, and this plugin also, I get it for free. Didn't pay any dime for this one, and it works very well on the end mix and also on vocal. If I'm using it I use it always for my vocal on my mix table. I have the same, but they are not exactly the same. But it's also an LA2A compressor, and now this one from Universal Studio is very good for end mix. I recommend this one very well, and all the other ones, the other two that I mentioned before now, also recommend it to have that and to add that to your studio layout if you can find them for free. If Universal Audio gives them sometimes for free, like some actions, sometimes they do that. Then that's the moment. Don't hesitate. Just download them. They are very great plugins. That's for the dynamics. And if you go back to, I get also this vintage compressor, and this one is also, it's from Cubase itself, and it replicated a little bit the fat compressor. without. That's too much. Also an interesting compressor. This one came with the, as you see, it's from Cubase itself. So you can have it for free normally if you have Cubase. They are normally available for you. But if I be honest, the other one from Universal Studio is better than this one here. Then that's all for the dynamics. VST dynamics. I didn't use this one. I don't use that. That's a standard, but don't use it. Then we have also IQ. This one is a very interesting also. I use that sometimes. It's also original from Cubase. It's not a bad one, but there are better options than this one. Before I had another one, and fortunately it's because my laptop was crashed, it was gone. I didn't find a free example again from Universal Studio that I had. So then we have the filters. In this case, there are only filters from Cubase. I don't use them. Dull filter, more filter, tone booster. Not of those plugins. I never used on one of them. So then we have here the mastering UV22HR. Never used it also. It came with Cubase, so but I didn't use it. For modulation, there are lots of plugins on Cubase. I never use those don't need them also. For the pitch shift, never use that. Then we have the reverb room, and this one, it's simple but useful reverb, and it's also okay. It's not so bad, this one. If you set the reverb nicely, then it will sound very, very good. Without. Combine that with a compressor and it will sound okay. But to be honest, I don't use that. I don't use this reverb. Then we have here the panner, mono, stereo pan, and stereo changer. I never used that. And of course the tuner. I have lots of tuners on. So those were the effects. So the only effects that I'm using are the universal audio effect and compressors. So this one here, universal audio Verve analog. Like I said, it's a very useful and interesting effect that you can have on your DAW. Then we have also, for the dynamics, of course, the LA2A and then the fat compressor, the 1176. Also very useful and interesting compressors. So I recommend those three. Certainly if you have Cubase or another DAW, those three are very useful for in your DAW. What I also use a lot, my Cubase a lot for, is for plugins for sound and music. Normally I'm using always my hardware, my synths, the drums also, but sometimes I'm using also the drums that I have here, and they're sounding very nice. So the drum computer that Cubase delivered with this Element 7 is also very useful and very nice sounding plugin. But I have other plugins that are interesting for this one. So what I have here, Groove Agent 1, this one, and it has great sounding patches. So loudest. They are made from samples. So if I create a beat, from 5 bars, like that, then we have here, that is useful. Like that. Program this one. Make it a bit smaller so I can work with it. Insert a beat. So creating the kick. Just creating a drum from scratch, and you can hear the different drum kits there are in. And now you can select another drum kit. Edit, for example, the compressor, the fat compressor. You hear difference now. Without the compressor, with the compressor. That good is this 1176 from Universal Audio. Drum sounds much more drums. Real drum. Those who just came in, welcome to the live stream. Feel free to leave a comment in the chat or just say hello. So, there are some nice drum sounds in this Cubase, and this one I use sometimes. Yes, okay. So for the sounds plugins, the Universal Audio that I get for free, those were the interesting and best plugins that I have here on my laptop for Cubase, and most of all I'm using that for my mixing, master mixing and mastering. Mixing and mastering. My master mix for mastering. And also sometimes I'm using other plugins like the drum Groove Agent. Groove Agent 1 is also a very useful and interesting drum computer that you can have on your DAW. It works very well. It's nice sounding also. Like I did for the example with that compressor, it sounds very well. That's also a great plugin. Then the other plugins that I'm using also on my Cubase are, of course, my Dexit. So the plugin that clones the DX7. So it replicated the DX7 and it sounds identical. So this one, what you have here also, when you're using like this plugin, you can duplicate that and you can change here another sound like this. Then the other one, you can change that in another sound like this. Then you can pan this one right and the other one left. And if you play now with your keyboard, then you play the two together. If I program something very fast, you will hear what I'm talking about. need to program that once. So I can that's just an example. It's not musical because normally I play it instead of going to that, so I know what I'm doing. It will be just using the black keys. So if I make it 5 bars max, like that, back, duplicate this one, so you can create those sounds. You can 50% is normally more than, or 60, more than enough. There is no effect and it sounds okay. So just do the same to the extent. You can layer and layer and layer on each other. If you add some effects on it, like the reverb that I did, the same thing here. You can change the sound if you like to make it more interesting. This one also, you can also use the same sound and if I'm using now the drums, so like I said, that's also an interesting plugin. So you can do lots of things with just a free plugin. Kick is So go now to the Groove Agency, another plugin that's okay. Groove Agent 1, that's a very What I'm doing now is that the TR-08 is playing with the Groove Agency, so I'm using TR-08 for my drums. Go now to the dynamics using the Universal Audio 11. So just with that, you can create anything just with some plugins. Well, also this one I use also sometimes, Groove Agent, and of course I download also other plugins like the Dexit. Those are this one here, as you see here, and the PJ8X, also a very great sounding plugin. Also recommend to have that on your, and also if I have this one must be the drum Groove Agent. Go back to the Groove Agent, and this one here, I'm going to change this one into the PJ8X. Change the plugin. I have the PJ here. Oh, that's just a initialized patch. Those are the factory patches. Combine those two synths. Have other also very great sounding synths, those two. And Groove Agent is also a very nice sounding drum computer. So what do you think? If you have another opinion, of course, share it with me in the chat. Don't hesitate. Again, going to, those are the plugins that I use. This one I don't use that a lot. There are some nice sounds in it, but it sounds to me too digital. And of course this one also. It's a nice synth, but I have other options that are better than this one. So those were the plugins that I'm using on Cubase, and certainly when I'm creating some, or I need a VST plugin, sound synth, or mix my mastering, the end mix of my song or my project, and also sometimes when I'm using the Groove Agent for drums. Then I'm using Cubase and those plugins. All those plugins are just came with the software itself, or were for free to get on the internet without any without paying. Certainly those Universal Audios. So Universal Audio does sometimes give plugins for free away. So we always look up the website, and when there is an opportunity, just take it, because they are very great plugins, and I heartily recommend them if you want to have a great compressor or a great equalizer. Before I had the Pultec also from Universal Audio, but I don't have the software anymore. I think in my downloads. I hope I don't think I have them in my downloads, because that was one of my best equalizers. There, the Pultec is a very great sounding equalizer, but I don't think I have that in my downloads. The Pultec connect. This one is my connector for Universal Audio. When I'm looking it up on the another connector, but I don't, because it is downloaded on through Universal Audio and not. I couldn't find them, and that's so that's the app from Universal Audio. We will look up that so you can see. So those are the plugins that I have from Universal Audio. It will update first. And before I had the Pultec, I don't know why I don't have it now anymore. It was super useful, certainly for my end mix. Now I'm using a sort of, there is also a sort of Pultec on this one, but it's not so good as the one that I use on, I think, we'll see. No. Normally I use this one now, and before I used that. So before I had the other one, and now I don't have them. So that's very unfortunate that I don't have it anymore. Maybe if Universal Audio will make them once again for free, then limiter, that's also not from Universal. I don't know. Normally it's a Pultec, and I don't find them here anymore. This one is also useful, but I never use it. So no, I don't find it anymore. It's gone, and hopefully maybe I'm gonna buy it, because that's the only plugin that want to buy because it's so good. Even the LA2A is also a very great plugin that you must have in your DAW and in your studio, of course. Now, going down, those were the plugins for. Now I'm still here with the Pultec. Maybe I can show you which one that I want to have or what to buy. If Universal Studio will start up. Now it started up. Sometimes you can see on sale, those are some plugins that you can buy. Gonna make it. Then we have here free DAW. You can get a free DAW if you want. I have mine. I don't need another DAW. But there is no an Explorer, but I don't need that. So there is no other plugins. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna find it. So this one I have installed, as you see. The other one was this one also, the 1176 also installed. Start demo, don't need that. Where can I find the Pultec here? Normally there is a Pultec. This one I have, and normally it's installed, so I don't know why it doesn't mention here, but I have it, so update. I must update that. So I'm updating the plugin, and normally it's installed. So like this, it's installed, so that's okay. So this one also I have, but I don't see the Pultec. Maybe it's from another manufacturer, I don't know. I thought it was from not this one, also not. But they have very also not from I'm gonna search that where I can find the Pultec, because there is one for free here, but that's not the one that I had before. That's not the Pultec. It's from TuneCraft, I see here. Gonna make it, set it here so you can follow me. From TuneCraft, free download, but I think it's this one is free. But it was not this one that I had before. And I thought it was from Universal Audio, but I don't see them here. Maybe I'm gonna. Oh, excuse me, Pultec. No, that it was from Universal Audio. That's a Pultec. And before I had it, so now I don't have it anymore. Start the demo. We'll see. That's the info about the Pultec, and this for 49 euros, dollars. That's less than 40 years, or something like that. So it's okay, but it wasn't this one. But also, if you can have that one, the Pultec, very great You can download them. That's a collection, and this one is it's installed. It was for I couldn't have it for free, so let's try again, and we will see if I have it because it's installed. That easy. It was so easy. Starting again. Restart Cubase. Maybe I can open it so I can also demonstrate the Pultec, because it's installed. So it's 30 days. And even then, maybe I'm gonna buy this one because it's a nice one. I'm gonna start and demo that. So if you let's get start again, Cubase, and we will see. Pultec. That's the dynamics. Go in here, inserts. Not this one. Here it is, the Pultec. Also, an interest. Again, I'm gonna use again the same. This one. Intro. So you can hear the difference. Turn that off. So you can boost 20, 16, it depends how. That's too much. 28 and 10 boost. But here also. More in the mid-range. Without, with lots of bass now. Add the LA2A. Normally I do a copy of the same track again, and then only the mid-range. I'm gonna turn off everything then. I take the equalizer here, turn that off, this one also, and boost only a little bit the mid-range, boost it, not gain, but this one, open like this. So the reason why I do that, so I can have lots of mid-range, and why I do not need that when you're listening on an iPhone or something else, then you will hear the bass better if you do that. But it's most of all, I turn that on minus 15 dB or something like that here. Minus 15 dB, and also here minus 5 dB. So 10 15 dB minus, and here minus 5 dB. Together they give, I'm gonna make an example. I'm gonna import that again because it won't 2 times. So the same thing, then instead of minus 15, and then this one minus 5. So they're gonna add together, so it will be too loud. Doesn't work. Strange. It's a mono. Set it here. Duplicate this one like that. Same thing, minus 15. Instead of those two. The compressor, I can leave it. It has to compress, but no IQ. And then go to the equalizer, boost this one here. You can also do that. Just boost the mid-range. It's minus, and the other one is minus 5, minus 10. You hear the difference, and now you have that mid-range, and that's also very important. And it stays wide. Without that, that's a trick that I'm always use for mastering my tracks, my mix tracks. So, and that's the Pultec, very interesting for that, to have that on your mix and mix. It gives that very nice, how do you say it? In between the low and the high, and also a little bit of mid end. It arranges your sound very well. It's very useful, and if you have it, maybe I'm gonna buy it, I don't know, but we'll see if I'm gonna play with it, and if it's make a difference. I think maybe I'm gonna buy the plugin, but I hope they will give it away for free once again, so I can download it. So go now to the other DAW, and don't save that. And that's my Fender Pro, and in this case we have also lots of plugins here. Effects, I'm not using a lot of effects here, only those for the guitar. If I have someone here who comes and play with a guitar, I can use this Fender effects from the, and those are like this one. I'm gonna put it here now. So this one here, that's a useful, a nice effect that you can have for your Fender reverb. Analog delay is this one. Excuse me, analog delay. Not so easy I found. I used it once for someone, and I couldn't find a way to work with it. So it's nice sounding, but not to say it's not so easy. You have presets here. You can use those presets if you like. So that's also an option. Then you have also an audio filter, but I don't use that. The chorus, okay, but I have a better chorus, and we will let you hear it in a moment after this one. This one can use it, can also try to gonna take another song, something to let you, or maybe a drum sound. This one not. Okay, we're gonna take this one, put it here in the main mix, like that, and then I'm gonna set it on the main mix. Of course, the main mix is not open. Go back to the mixer here. Main. Different settings. This one is okay, but I'm gonna remove all those effects here. As you see, there are lots of effects on the main. Now it's only this effect off. This one is nice. It's a nice sounding chorus. The reverb, if I put the reverb in now, so the chorus, I'm gonna turn that off. Remove it, so I have only the reverb. Delay, excuse me. It's not a good example. It gives some nice effects. Turn that off. So there are a lot of other compressors, also gates, also useful. But this one for a guitar. Oh, excuse me. I think I have I've done something. Okay, I'm back. For the guitar here, this one is a nice one to have. But I don't have now a guitar. So, and this is a very great plugin from Fender also. And you can set your rig here. The amplifier, the pedal. In this case, you have here a sample compressor, then the case or the speaker, and then you have here another pedal for the reverb. And that, turn it off. Can also turn it off. Bypass. This one. So that's also for if you have a guitar now. Normally I use it like that, so I can add other pedals. I can that's your input and your output, of course. I can bypass it. You can also add other features on it. Normally you do that with here, adding another. That's your tuner, go back, then your output and inputs. Then you have your that's, you can remove this back. Okay, you can put it out. You can add. You can add all the pedals, all pedals that you can add. As you see how many compressors, reverb, small plate, all different pedals. You can add delay pedals, lots of delay, and then filters, then dynamics, reverbs, delays, then modulation, and of course stombox. All those you can add them. You can also cancel. Add here, that's the case, but back. And normally you can change this one also. Those are the cases. The speakers, the other amplifiers can Marshall, Fender. Do I have here the... I'm looking, I know it's a Fender, so you don't find any, just Fender speakers, of course. So all those Fender speakers, you can find them here. The classic one, the normal, the standard, deluxe, of course. This one is also the Supersonic, also a very new speaker, of course, of the Fender family, and then also the big ones. That's the cabinets. All the cabinets you can add this one, then you have this one. So that's also that's for guitar players who come here to play. That's the rig that I use for the effect pedals. Then we have also here another rig. That's the same. I think it's the same. Then you have also other. This one knows for your for visible where your sound is. visualizing that. I've also a scope. You have also a spectrum analyzer. Analyzer. It analyzes your sound spectrum. Then splitter. What does we have here also? Surround delay. Never gonna use that. Then we have here other features. Vocoder A, vocoder B, also a vocoder if you want. Lots of what do we have here also are instruments. We have here a different instrument you can use. Those are the external instruments that I have here. You have different sequencers. Oh, okay. So you can arpeggiate different arpeggiators. You can combine. You can change. That's also. I never use it. So runtime, move balance. That's not the sequencer layers. Piano, vocal. They are looking for folders, so you cannot open that. I never used one of those. Going to a MIDI track. You can program 5 root not found. So add an instrument. You can add here an instrument for EP. Then remove this, so it's one. How does that work? Strange, but you see it's not straight away. Here we have a synthesizer. Envelope generator can for the filter, envelope generator for the amp. Cutoff. Open it. The high pass, low pass, band pass. Lots of filters that you have here. The drive, you can have a drive. You can have a different LFO here, which the only thing I don't found here is which is the sound wave. (24 dB, 12 dB). Oh. That's a filter, but there is no, I don't find any oscillator here. Where is the oscillator? That's the lead vocal, voodoo synth. That's a sequencer. Strange, but here I never used those instruments on this in this DAW because I don't find them interesting. As you see, there are no, the effects are very great here and have some very nice. Certainly, when you're using guitars, bass, you have amplifiers for bass, you have amplifiers and pedals for guitar. You have lots of flanger, a gate, expander, dual pen, different chorus, different chorus compressors. So very useful for live recording, for live playing with MIDI on this one. I'm not so. I'm using it only for MIDI programming with my gear that I have. There is very interesting, and also the sequencer that it has. It's a very useful and very easy to use as sequencer that it has, and I love this more than the sequencer that I have on Cubase. It's difficult. It takes more time to create a drum on Cubase than on Pro Studio Pro. Studio One, of course, the same. So those are the plugins that I use here in this DAW. And then we have other plugins, other features, and other effects that I use. And most of all, I'm using them in the mixer. The effects, I have them also on my laptop. No, don't want to delay. And that's this one here. This one is a very. It has also the same plugin, same compressor that you have, but better than on Studio One or Studio Pro. Those are much interesting. As you see, you can also have you can analyze your sound, an equalizer also. Going to you have gate. That's the first thing, your gate. If you're going to the chain, you have your mic in. Now that's my channel when I speak now. You have the mic in. What you have here, you can set your phantom on. You can turn your face like this. Strange now you hear my voice very bassy. That's normal when you're turning the face. The only thing I'm using the face turn is when I'm using two mics on a snare or on the kick, out and in. Then I'm phase that because it will cancel each other if you don't do that. Then you can also go to stereo or mono channel. Your preamp, in this case it's 51 dB. Then I have here, of course, my high pass filter. Normally 80 or 100 hertz for a voice. Cut all the low end off. You don't need that when you're speaking. We don't speak in that low range of a frequency. Then we have here the main. Normally if I go right to the main, but I'm in a group. So I'm not in the main. It's the group that goes to the main. Then we have here my delay. Can delay. If if you have multiple speakers in the room, so you have to delay some of your speakers, or there is a sort of feedback, or that's useful. Then, of course, what do we have also here are the, for those who just came in, welcome to the live stream, and don't hesitate to leave a comment in the chat or just say hello, and also feel free to like and subscribe, of course, to my channel, but there is no obligation. Just do what you like, but will be helpful. Now we are here, so we have also then the first, after the gain, you have also the gate. I'm using that for as that's very useful for a mic. Without a gate, you will hear other sounds also in the room. With a gate, but not too much. Just this level. If you go too much, then it will break your voice every time. So the gate, normally it's like that. It's okay. Then we have also a compressor. Like I said, normally if I do this, then it compresses too much. Just turn it on just a little bit when it moves. Now it's gonna move, then turn it a little bit back. Can go a lot more, less. Turn that off and you won't hear me. I'm using always this LA2A clone, as you say, because it's a very useful. And the LA2A, the LA2A is the original. The US Universal Audio plugin is better than this one. This one is okay. I like it, but the Universal Audio is better than this one here. What do we have also here? Other compressor. I have a fat compressor. I have a Brit compressor. I have also the classic compressor. Can go through them, but must turn them on. As you see, that's the fat compressor. Now turn that on. Difference. There is a difference between. That's normal. That's normal. We have also the Brit compressor. Turn that also on. Threshold, and then mask. Now that's the, you hear there is a very big difference. Go to the threshold, back, more threshold, attack and release. So not for the voice. The classic compressor, turn that also on. Gain, a little bit more gain, yes. This one, the same thing. Lots of not for the voice. Then you have also this one, the same thing, compressing and gaining. So plus 20 dB, less compressing, more compressing, and you can go above and low. Now, is this one a great one? No, for the voice, I don't use it. We have also this one, this low. Turn that on. Now it's on. Slow, fast, and gain, gain. As you hear, not for the voice. FC16, also the same thing. Gain input must be high and threshold low, or it will not my kind of compressor that I'm using. We have also sort of RC500, and this one is normally also not so bad. Threshold, and you can release faster and make up. And this one is normally not so bad for vocal. Normally it's not so bad for vocal here. If you go to not too much threshold, make up a little bit, so not too fast, not too slow. Now I can live with this. Yes, I can live. It gives a no, so Nice, yes. Okay. That's less minus 10. No, 10 dB max. This one is okay. Then we have the tube, of course. This one is not a sort of Pultec. So we have also the gain, Pultec. This one is also not so bad. You can a little bit more threshold, minus, okay, not more than that. Ratio 1:4, that's a little bit here. That's too much, not too much. Attack, slow, same thing as I did in between. Then we have here manual, fixed, or fixed and manual, but I cannot turn that. I don't know why. It turns. Okay. Now it's fixed and manual. Fixed and manual is here. And this one is okay for the voice. It gives, yeah, there is. But to be honest, I prefer this one is also normally a great one. Threshold -2 something. Ratio 1:4. Here. Then gain. And that gives, but as you see, it has, it's not as powerful as the tube, this one. That's the compressor that I need, that I use also for my voice here. That's too much. Go back. That's more than enough. Yes, okay. So those are the compressors you can find on this one. And to be honest, this is a nice and great working compressor for my voice. Now, going to the equalizer, we have here difference. That's the standard that you see. Only thing that I use in this one is I did a cutoff. So I cut off that sound from 100. The cutoff is set to 100 hertz. Some of you do also 80 hertz. You can go from 80 to 100. I have, I think, a little bit lower voice, so now I cut off to 800. 80 is also okay. Then you have here other equalizers, the passive equalizer, and that's the Pultec. This one I use a lot on my end mix here on my table. This boosts, of course, the bass, as you hear. Attenuate that bass, gives us the voice a better voice. Boost a little bit also the midfield, so you can go through, attenuate a little bit the midfield. Go to 8, that's better. So you can change your voice. Oh, that's not good. No. So you hear the difference. It makes a difference. So we have also other equalizer, vintage, this one here. Those two I use a lot. This one for my end mix also, but it works nice with the end mix. Then we have also another one, this one, an LP, and sort of low, mid, and high, and you can boost your frequency here. That's the booster, and here it's the frequency you choose to 400, from 50 to 400, from 400 to 5K. So, and then we have from 5K to 15K, and you can boost that on your high. That's just like SSL free equalizer, the same thing as an SSL. So we do have also this one, Baxendale IQ, Baxendale, strange name. Now that's also the same thing. You can cut shelf. That's a shelf. The shelf, if someone doesn't know what a shelf is, and when you go to your equalizer, the shelf is wait, I'm gonna that's this rounding here. That's your shelf. You can go make it so if I go to my end here, I can shelve it like that. That's a shelf. Going back to the that was the yes, that's also we were here. So that's the equalizer. I'm going back to my channel because I'm not now in my channel. Now I'm in my channel. Going back, we have also this one, RC500. Also an interesting and useful IQ. Solar IQ. You can compare to the Pultec IQ. Sort of attenuating here and the frequency that you attenuate, same thing. Then we have here the tube, also a sort of Pultec. We have two there. We have this one here, and there was another one, right? This one. That's a sort of Pultec, and this one also a sort of Pultec. The peak, depth, peak, and the same thing here. Now, then we have the vintage 3-band, just like an SSL or a Neve console, and then you have the VT1 IQ. Don't use this one. I don't know if it is good. I never use it, so I don't know why. And of course, then we have the limiter as last. Those are the plugins that I use almost every time when I make a mix. I'm going back to my standard IQ, yes, here, and set it on. That's okay now. And going to my compressor is okay. That's okay. So those are the compressors that I use on this mixer and the plugins that I use for this mixer. What it's the effects, there are also effects on, lots of effects. You can go to that. And as you see, I have 4 banks for effects, and each bank has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 effects on each bank. So what do you have here? We have a digital XL reverb. We have here the P16 digital reverb, 335 digital reverb. You can go to that also. That's this one. So that's the first reverb. The next one, a digital reverb. Then we have the 335 digital reverb. Next one, the vintage plate reverb. Nice one, this one. I used this one once or twice, I think. The mono delay. That's the sample delay. This one is a sample delay, but it's mono, no, not stereo. Then we have the stereo delay. And this one I'm using a lot, but it's not so easy. You must calculate always your, because the tap doesn't work like I used to. I don't know why. But normally I tap the sound, then I'm calculating the time, and then I'm set the rest of the time on the calculation of the tap, on the calculation of the beats per minute, and then it works. But it's not always. It's a difficult delay, to be honest. Then we have here also the ping pong delay. This one, most of all, I use the ping pong delay, not the stereo, but the ping pong. it gives a very nice sound. I have lots of songs and project that I did with that pinpo delay. Almost always the chorus is a fantastic sounding chorus. This one, very nice sounding chorus, and a flanger also not so bad. But the effects are very nice and very great on this mixing table, and I'm using them a lot. So yes, those were the effects. So that was all the plugins that I used. There are some other, show you that I can do that also directly. That's also my profession, is an educator, but here in Belgium. But I dedicate other stuff than also music, but other stuff also. For mastering, it's not so difficult, for my opinion, of course. What I'm doing is, when I master something, I want to have it will sound always nice on a laptop, on your PC, on our speakers and your headphones. It will sound always perfectly. So when I'm going to, it's gonna take us, and you're going to my music here. I'm gonna take a sample. Which one I'm gonna? This one is maybe it's a cover that I played with my double bass. Okay, I'm gonna you choose this one. Maybe it will be. So you must first make your mix. Certainly that every track that you mix is in compares the other one at the right level. That's very important. If you don't have a great mix, you don't have a great mastering. A mastering can be mastering is just for make the sound better, and not only for one device but different device in your car, on your laptop, in your TV, on your speakers, when you have some headphones on. The problem is that like bass sounds won't come through the laptop or the smartphones, and also when you add too much bass, then it will sound too much. How do you say it? Too low end, spongy, like that. So I have here an example. I can let you hear that. And as you hear, the bass is not so clear. Does it sound loud and clear? Okay. Okay. So when your mix is done and you want to master this mix, so this mix was just the double bass recorded with the mic and the piano, and those two, and the drums, of course. But the drum is also mix it separately so that the drum is also nice, that you hear every part of the drum. And then when you're making your mix and everything is set right, then so in this case you hear the bass. But if you're listening on a smartphone, you won't hear that bass because there's too much low end, not enough mid end, and that mid end is very important. For my experience, I'm gonna duplicate always my tracks and make two of them, and the first one gonna set it -5 dB. At the end, you will master also your volume, that you're going just before under the 0. I will show you that. Then the second one, I'm gonna make it -15 dB. So I have now two separately. The reason why, the first one, I'm gonna master it with my compressor and also with an IQ. The second one, only with a compressor. So in this case, I'm using the LA2A from Universal Studio. Very useful. I say it now. Yeah, I say it just so. Indeed, the compressor is this one. the LA2A from Universal Studio. Fortunately, for free ones, if you can have it, it's one of the best compressors. Also, for my first, the same thing. Both are compressed with the same compressor. Turn them always on. So first of all, when you're mastering the first one, so I'm going to turn off both of them so I know which one is one. So I'm going to turn the first one. That's the first one. Yes, and it's a very great one. Now you hear with the compressing. For the compressing, I go always, beware for your mix, of course. That's too much now, I have too much. So, that's, when it's in orange, then it's okay. Because I have another track. That's too much compressing, a little bit less. That the needle just behave a little bit between 0 and maximum minus half dB. No more than it's very important that you don't compress more than minus 1 dB. Less than 1 dB is better. So nothing more than that. Like this. But the nice thing is you must do that also on the other track. The same thing, the same compression. So I go to my other compressor. I'm gonna copy, paste that also, the same thing. Threshold 20, and in here a little bit less than 30. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost my mid-range, and shell also did mid-range, must be shelled also. The two here, it's this one, like that. You can even cut off a little bit of the bass here and a little bit of the high end. So when I boost this, because I did it minus 15 dB, so without anything, you will hear this. That's just the midfield. Together, now you're gonna hear the bass better. Can boost the midfield with your compressor like that. You boost your compressor, and then normally I had before the Pultec to make the IQ. I don't have that now, so I must use. I have the Pultec, but it's just a. I must buy this one because I had it before, the free one, but it was gone, and now I'm using also the Universal Audio Pultec, this one, and does that sounds very well. So maybe I'm gonna buy this one because this one is also very important for your mix. Here we can boost, attenuate a little bit. before another one, also a Pultec, but I don't have it anymore. It was also free for a while, so I downloaded it. I used it always, but when my laptop was crashed, I lost it, so I didn't have it. And this one is okay from Universal Audio. It does its work, but I'm boosting it not on the right track. So this one is not okay. It will be better, because I thought, why it sounds so bad? Because I'm on you must do it on the first track. So I'm gonna do it here. So you're gonna hear the difference. It's a very this one is just for 30 days. Where did I? IQ, here it is. So it's better, yes. So now you're gonna hear difference. Don't exaggerate with your now you're gonna hear the hi-hats better. Without any effect. That's the trick that I use. That's my trick that I'm using for that. Just use that compressor for your midfield, boost that, and also, but you must lower that with because now it's too much. Set it here in the middle, so I'm gonna so -6 dB, and here -16 dB. That's better. I go to my transporter. More. -17. That's better. So that's how easy it is to make a mastering. You can go much further if you want. You can treat it more, but I'm more guy. 2 tracks, one for the midfield, the other one for the overall. You must turn off that midfield lots more than 10 dB more than the other one, just to fix that midfield, and then turn the equalizer on your first track to make it wide and open. And those 2 compressors, they do their job very well. But don't exaggerate with the compression, because then you're gonna lose a lot of dynamics from your sound. What do you think about the sound then now, without that compressor? Does that help with your mix? Hopefully. So those are the plugins that I certainly recommend to everyone who want to have a nice mix. I'm not paid by Universal Audio or something, just because it's for free. So use them, because they are very great plugins for your end mix. I do that also for when I'm playing here. I have the same trick that I'm using on my mixing table. So every time you're here, mix for me, a live mix, no problem. Every time I do a live mix, I do the same thing here on my output, on my main mix output. I set also a compressor on. I set also the Pultec or a vintage IQ on, so that everyone who was listening on an iPhone something can have quite a nice mix. And then even after then, if I make that from that live gig a video, I master again the sound on my Cubase here. I can do that also on Studio on Pro Studio One or Pro Studio, but I found it very easy because I can use those plugins here on this in this DAW. I cannot do that on the other on Studio One. So well, I'm glad that I can help you. If there are some other people who want to have a question about those plugins, just ask. So that's why we do this video today. There is also, so I downloaded now the app for my keyboard, but I can't find it here. Where did it go? And the tone print, I think I'm gonna re-download it because it's strange that it doesn't work, because it hesitates a lot. It worked very slowly, so that's not okay. Maybe reinstall this one instead of where did I do the other one? Okay. Reaper is a free. It's for free, I think. Doesn't matter if it can support the universal audio plugins. You have the same quality. I use Reaper or Cubase. It doesn't matter. The one thing is that the output of my mixing table is 24 dB. 24 hertz, yes, by a bit, 24 bit, or 8, I think 24, oh, I'm gonna show you how many, it's, no, excuse me, 48 kilohertz sample rate, and 24, I think 24 bits recording. That's important if you want to have a nice and high quality sound. As you see, when I go to my main mix, my main here, so that's what I use for my main. Also a Pultec here. Now it's on because the Pultec also set. So for my main, I'm using also the Pultec. Yeah, that's too much. And this one also. That's also for every time I do a gig, I use those for my main. But normally I don't set it on my main, I set it on my group. So not on my main, but on my group. I got I'm gonna synchronize those two because so I can go to my group. So this is the group where I'm every instrument that I have, you can read them here from below. You can read the instruments that I use are here. There is something with my internet, I think. Oh, there's quite some. Yes, okay, it works again. So every time I'm mixing, I'm using those two on my group because I have a group. Why I do a group? Because it's easy when you're going to have a louder or a less louder sound. Otherwise, I must always turn every fader manually. You can do a DCA, but a DCA, it's okay, but I don't use the DCA because of a group is better there. You can use the effects on your group. You can use the compressor on your group. I love to use that instead of the... Yes, I'm not the person who... you must choose your... That depends. I don't know Reaper. I don't have an example of Reaper. So normally if I go to my DAW here on Cubase, so each time I have an insert here, and each insert I can choose which one I want to use for that. So I don't. So, and that's the same thing also for Studio One, when each channel has its inserts. So you must go to your inserts if you have that on Reaper. You can search it up here, Reaper. Yes. So every time you have a channel, you go to your inserts of each channel, but you can also group those channels together and make a subgroup, and that subgroup to make a mixing, a mix of your group. You can add also compressor and equalizing on that group mix. That's how I work, like you see here in my... So that's my group main outlet. That's the main. And if I go to my group, that's main. Those are my groups. That master group. So my first group is this one here, that's called the main group. I hope you get it. So that's also I must go back to my other one. Those all the DCAs, master groups, main, left, right. So those are the groups that that's the group that I'm using for all my instruments. It's also easy. I have everything. Oh, thank you. But that's a little bit also years of trying and try and error, of course, and work a lot with those plugins. And I'm someone who also stays a lot with the same software. I use Cubase, I think, for more than 15 years now, or maybe 20 years. And when I bought my first studio PreSonus mixing table, the software, this one here that you have here, so it's not captured, but it's universal control from PreSonus, and it works. It works for me like that. It has also the possibility to go from in the box and live together. It's very helpful, and that's also why they call it Studio Live. It's for studio and for live. So you can use it as a live mixing table, but you can use it also as a studio mixing table, because you can go from using it as a live, and after then you can use it as a MIDI controller. So it controls my DAW. If I open up my DAW here, this one is Studio Pro now, what I'm using. That's the latest version of Studio One. For those who just came in, welcome to the live stream, and also don't hesitate to ask your question or to leave a comment in the chat. I'll just say hello. Yes, so I'm gonna start up my Studio Pro. I'm gonna open maybe a new one, just like that. I have also a preset that. So this is a preset with all my gear that I have. So I then never must change or something. I don't have a patch bay to patch something also. And when I'm going to my mixing table here, this is my mixer. So you can see that's the mixer. Here above you have your inserts. Each channel has its insert, so you can add here, lots of plugins and everything. The same thing here. I can make it a little bit smaller. So this is my mix table, and those are my tracks here. I'm gonna make them smaller so you can. They are small. You can see my MIDI tracks and everything. And here, when I go now to DAW on my mixing table, now it functions like now my mix table is a remote control for my mixer here. So if I turn the main here, it goes up here. If I turn the main down, it goes up down. Do the same thing here. Also, if I go now to my first, my inputs are here. So now everything is down. Mic up, mic down. Go to my next one here. As you see, everything is controlled by this. Otherwise, I can mix on my table and it will. What you have here also, and that's a nice feature, when you're in DAW, you have just one fader for each instrument. So in this case, I have my JXAP. So I have my JXAP, that's this one. I see it's one more fader, but if I go out of my DAW, you will see there is a right and a left channel, and there are two faders are going up and down if I'm in analog, and not now in my DAW. Each fader has, this one is stereo, but you don't see it because it's one fader. That makes it also, you have how many tracks now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 19, 20, 122. You got 24 tracks here. I have 24 tracks to use. Only one fader. So this one, the Yamaha has just the mono, so it's 1. But this one, Juno, is 2. The TR-08 also 2. My Mo, that's my effect pedal, also 2. And that's, of course, my main. And that's my main of my table. That's also very useful. For those who have a budget to want to buy a mixing table with a software that worked and that's stable, the PreSonus Studio Live is one of the best, I think, in my opinion. And there are other, but they are also much expensive than this one. For the price, it's a very cheap. It's not cheap, but it's a very great investment if you want to have nice sound and easy to work flow